Hey everyone, and welcome. Get ready to test your knowledge with the Big South Africa quiz. We're going to explore its incredible culture, its diverse beliefs, and even cover some really important safety tips. So, are you ready to learn something new? Let's get started. All right, the rules are super simple. I'm going to ask a question, and then you'll get 5 seconds to think of an answer. After that, we'll pop the answer right up on the screen. The whole point is just to have fun and maybe learn a few cool things. No pressure at all. So let's kick things off with our very first round. Okay, round one is all about the amazing culture and the spirit of kindness that you'll find in South Africa. Let's see what you know. First question, how many official languages does South Africa have? You've got 5 seconds, and the answer is 11, a whopping 11 languages. That just shows you how incredibly diverse the country is. Some of the big ones are Zulu, Xhosa, and Afrikaans. Awesome start if you got that one right. Okay, next up, why is South Africa so famously called the Rainbow Nation? I'll give you a moment. It's because the name celebrates all the different cultures and people coming together to live in harmony, especially after apartheid ended. It's a beautiful phrase that was coined by Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Let's talk about celebrations. Can you name 2 festivals that are celebrated in South Africa? 5 seconds on the clock. Some of the really big ones are Diwali, the Hindu Festival of Lights, Christmas, of course, and Heritage Day, which is a day for all South Africans to celebrate their own unique cultures. If you named any 2 of those, you are spot on. All right, time for a question that's going to make you hungry. Can you name 3 popular South African foods? You've got 5 seconds. Well, you could have said a braai, which is kind of like a big social barbecue, biltong, which is this amazing cured meat, or bunny chow, where they fill a hollowed-out loaf of bread with curry. So many delicious choices. Now for something that really gets to the heart of the spirit of Ubuntu, which is a huge part of South African culture. So what exactly is a moral lesson? Think about it. A moral lesson is basically a teaching that helps you know the difference between right and wrong and helps you make good choices. And in the spirit of Ubuntu, it's all about how we're all connected and how our choices affect everyone around us. So, building on that idea of Ubuntu, can you name 2 important moral lessons? You've got 5 seconds. Some really key ones are sharing with others, the idea that what's mine is ours, and showing kindness, because of that belief that I am because we are. These are just fundamental to building a kind society. And just like that, round 1 is done. All right, let's dive into round 2, world beliefs. In this round, we're going to take a quick look at some of the different faiths and spiritual traditions you'll find not just in South Africa, but all around the world. First up for this round, which faith has followers that are called Jews, and what is the name of their holy book? 5 seconds. The answer is Judaism, and their sacred holy book is the Torah. It contains all the foundational stories and laws for the Jewish people. Next one. Which religion is based on the teachings of Jesus Christ, and where do its followers typically go to worship? 5 seconds. That would be Christianity, and their place of worship is the church. And fun fact, it's actually the most widely practiced religion in South Africa. Okay, next question. Followers of Islam are called Muslims. What is their holy month of fasting called? Take a moment. And the answer is Ramadan. During Ramadan, Muslims fast from sunup to sundown, and it's a time for worship, self-discipline, and thinking about others. Here's a 2-part question for you. Which religion uses the Om symbol, and what does karma mean? You've got 5 seconds. The religion is Hinduism. And karma? Well, that's the belief that what goes around comes around. So doing good things will bring good things back to you. Here's one about a faith that's all about unity. What does the Baha'i faith teach about people and God? Think about it for a sec. The Baha'i faith teaches that there's only one God and that all people are equal, no matter their race or their religion. It's a really powerful message about everyone coming together. All right, let's talk about some indigenous beliefs. What are 2 features of traditional African religions? And remember, these can be really diverse. You have 5 seconds. Well, while the beliefs can vary a lot, there are some common threads. Many believe in one supreme creator God. And there's also a deep respect for ancestors, who are seen as spirits that connect the living with the divine. Last question for round 2. Can you name the symbols for Islam and Christianity? 5 seconds on the clock. For Islam, it's the crescent moon and star. And for Christianity, it is the cross. Amazing job on the world beliefs round. And now for our third and final round, we're talking about something that is so important for everybody, water safety.
These are tips that everyone needs to know to stay safe around pools, rivers, and the ocean.
Kicking off our final round. What is the single most important thing you can do to be safe around water? I'll give you 5 seconds. The answer is to learn how to swim. Seriously, it is the #1 skill you can have to keep yourself safe. Okay, let's talk pools. Can you name 2 important safety rules for when you're at a swimming pool? 5 seconds. Some really key ones are never ever swim alone, never push somebody in, and don't run or play too wildly around the edge of the pool. All super important rules to remember.
So what about places like rivers, dams, or the ocean? Can you name 2 things you should avoid doing? Take a moment. A couple of huge safety tips here are: never dive into water if you don't know how deep it is, stay away from fast-flowing rivers, and always keep an eye out for things like boats or surfers.
And for our very last question of the quiz, can you name 2 times when you should absolutely not go swimming? You have 5 seconds. Okay, you should never swim when you're feeling sick or if you're really cold or tired. Definitely not during a thunderstorm. And it's also a good idea to wait a bit after you've had a big meal.
And that is the end of our quiz. Wow, you did an amazing job playing along. And remember, it doesn't matter if you got every single answer right. The most important thing is that you had some fun, and hopefully you learned something new and interesting today.
So, I'll leave you with one final question to just think about. What was the most interesting thing you learned today? Was it something about all those languages, or a world belief, or maybe a really important safety tip? Whatever it was, keep that curiosity going. Thanks so much for joining me.